You know what's frustrating? Meticulously designing a weapon in Modern Warfare 2's Gunsmith down to the perfect tuning to get just the right recoil, aim down sight speed, just the right sight distance from your eye. It is some of the coolest weapon customization I have seen in a AAA shooter, and definitely the coolest weapon customization we have seen in this franchise. Some people find it complicated and tedious, but I'll have you know that so do I sometimes, but it's still really good. It is complicated, it is tedious, it's involved, it's meticulous, and I enjoy that so much. And then I go to make the rest of my class. After hours of gunsmithing, I'll sit here and I'll watch Grand Thumb and administrative results and some forgotten weapons, and I'll just gun nerd out in here, and it'll be really fun. As a suburban, cul-de-sac dwelling Idahoan without a lot of pocket change, I don't get to go out and buy and play with actually cool guns, unfortunately. But luckily I have Modern Warfare 2 here, and luckily I have awesome gun channels to hydrate me with their firearm-related visual juices. But we have a different problem. So back to what I was saying, as I'm, tweaking and adjusting my loadout and having just a grand old time doing so, I then moved to the rest of my loadout. I got my assault rifle, I got my sidearm, I got a flash grenade and a frag grenade, and this is where the class creation is still pretty good. Even though these are guaranteed and I wish they weren't, the variety of equipment you have in these menus can't be overstated. Like, it is so great to have decoy grenades, spotter scopes, stims, heartbeat sensors, snapshots, tear gas. This is a great selection of utility, and I honestly wish there was a perk to let me carry 2 tacticals or 2 different types of lethals, because that would be kind of neat. Moving on to the lethal, of course, we have frag grenades, proximity mines, we have Molotov cocktails and Simtexes and C4s and claymores and thermites and throwing knives. But of course, the one I passed over is this new little guy, straight out of Rainbow Six Siege. I know it's not, but the drill charge, which allows us to blow up campers without even having to enter their buildings. We can just use the walls outside of them. Isn't that great? Just so fantastic. Using the very structures they use to hide to blow them to smithereens. I love this. I want it in every single Call of Duty game, even if it's not historically accurate, seeing how that doesn't seem to be a problem for Call of Duty anymore anyway. So I have my flash, my frag grenade, whatever, basic choices, but it works for this loadout, which is a very basic loadout. Moving over to my perk package, of course, I am starting to have a problem where I have only 5 slots to make custom loadouts. This is very sad, of course. I have Go-To 2.0, I have Streak, I have OBJ, and I have Stealth. And I do alter these quite a bit. These aren't their final forms because they get altered pretty much every play session, depending on what I think I'm gonna need. And then sometimes I use the defaults. I don't mind Phantom or Assault. I also don't mind Hunter if I'm fighting a Claymore running team. This will give me tons of DDoS opportunities and of course the abilities to see Claymores and stuff through walls. But of course this is highly limiting. Not only can I only make 5 packages, within the perk packages themselves, we have 2 base perks, which are all boring perks that have been seen in every previous Call of Duty recently. And then we have bonus perks, which are also perks that we have seen countless times before. And then for ultimate perks, we also have seen all of these perks before. The slight exceptions is that we've had perks similar to Birdseye and perks similar to Survivor, but these are technically new iterations of them. But again, these perks are sort of gimmicky and it's just sort of sad. And then these are obviously, they're on a timer. I have to wait like 2 minutes or more before my loadout is actually my full chosen loadout. That sucks. So I can't counter UAVs. I can't, throw grenades quickly, right off the start of a match. I can't have quick fix right off the start for an opening rush, which would be amazing. I can't run Survivor and use it in the first round of SND. What a heartbreak. But at least we have field upgrades, right? We have Dead Silence, trophy system, deployable cover, DDoS, inflatable decoy, tactical camera, anti-armor round, suppression mine, smoke, airdrop, recon drone, battle rage, tactical insertion, portable radar. You get it. I like these. I wish that the slow recharge ones recharged faster. I know that'd be kind of annoying, but it would also make me want to use these other things more. The reason I don't use them more is that it just, it feels tedious to do it. So, yeah, it just feels tedious to wait like most of a match to get armor-piercing rounds or a suppression mine. I know it's not most of a match, it's just there's already so much waiting on my perks. I just want to have things that I get quickly. So DDoS, Dead Silence are usually my go-tos. If I want a little slower, I'll go Tac Insert and Portable Radar. But then we get to the kill streaks, or in my case, score streaks, because I'm not an infidel. And what I like here is that they've bunched these streaks up under the same point values. So instead of it being 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, or 625, these are the 750 range, these are the 875 range, these are the 1000 range, and this means I can't run Precision Airstrike, Cruise Missile, Mortar Strike. This means I can't run UAV, Bomb Drone, COAV. And that kind of sucks. You used to be able to run like all of the lowest streaks if you wanted to, and you used to kind of be able to help yourself get new ones. And I know it'd be a little overpowered if every Precision Airstrike led to a Cruise Missile, led to a Mortar Strike, so maybe the point values would have to be increased, or the points received would have to be decreased. I don't know how they would do it. But previous COD games did it, and I really liked it. I really liked being able to, get a bunch of like roughly the same point streaks. So like once I get one, I know that I'm really close and practically guaranteed to get the others. That was a really fun feeling, and it made it more variety filled with like what streak setups I was gonna run. Whereas in this game, I mostly find myself using a UAV. If I'm having a sort of inconsistent evening, I'll use something in the 625 range, but then it's usually something in the 750, 875, and 1000 range. I don't find the Stealth Bomber to be worth its point value, nor the Chopper Gunner, and the Gunship would be worth it if I could get up to 1500 score per life, but in most of the lobbies I'm in and with some of the loadouts I end up using, this doesn't really happen. But either way, I hate that I can't Stealth Bomber and Chopper Gunner. That'd be kind of appealing, because if I could Overwatch Helo, Stealth Bomber, Chopper Gunner, then that might be a fun combo, because these are not exactly powerful streaks. I would consider the Overwatch Helo, Stealth Bomber, and Chopper Gunner to be some of the worst iterations of these perks we've seen in the entire franchise, and yet I can't combine them to have a sort of cool dominoing effect of a bunch of mediocre garbage. Kinda sucks. And I know these streaks, like if they were too prevalent, could get to be annoying, but there's so many ways to shoot down streaks in this game. My Stealth Bombers usually get 1 to 2 kills, my Chopper Gunners usually get shot down after I get about 2 to 3 kills. I have called in a VTOL and it has just gotten like no kills, and it swoops in, gets shot down, and doesn't even do a damn thing. So like, I hate this game for this, because like I said earlier, it is so nice to have the most detailed weapon customization we've ever had, and yet I don't feel it. I don't get to enjoy it, because I know that once I'm done customizing the perfect rifle and getting it just the way I want it, and meticulously tuning every single attachment to the perfect interval, I have to go into this regressive, arbitrarily limited, bad system. That's what it is. Like, weapon customization of this caliber should be accompanied by something at least of the caliber of Black Ops Cold War's perk system, which was more freeing, or at the best, Call of Duty Ghost perk system and lethal and tactical system. Like, I think that would keep me entertained for hours. And then I realized, and this is how I want to end this video, because this is really sad and I want you to think about this, because if this is true, oh my god, that's pathetic. But I realize maybe the reason everything is simple here is because of the fact that COD players are already complaining about having to tune their attachments, or just how many attachments there are that are similar but yet are statistically technically different. They don't like it. They complain. I could never complain about something like this. This is right up my alley, but a lot of people are complaining because they don't want to have to pick one out of, all these different red dots and then, adjust the height or the distance, and then, all this other tuning. They don't want to do that. They bitch about this often in my chat, actually. A lot of people that come into my chats seemingly come in just to tell me how bad this system is and how it, basically is, worse than death. And it's funny because maybe that's why the rest of this class system sucks. They don't want me to make a lot of perk packages. They want me to make a few ones that just make sense for my playstyles. And yeah, there we go. There's the ones I've made, and then You know, my field upgrades, pretty simple. Lethal and tactical, a lot of options, but you only get to pick, you know, one from each category, and then you only get 2 tacticals if you run the double tactical perk. So, like, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why score streaks are just so simplistic and crammed into these areas. They don't want players to run too rampant with combinations that could become overpowered. And they don't want players getting bored halfway through making their class, because if you had all of this weapon customization combined with the Call of Duty Ghost perk system, man, like, the people that don't like tuning attachments would be sitting here angry that they'd have to, you know, fill 10 class slots with stuff that's actually interesting instead of just, you know, essentially using assault rifle, quick draw, stock, ghost, scavenger, dexterity, you know, that stuff that a lot of people are asking for. They want that pick 10 system back, and they don't want gunsmith anymore. I know this isn't like the #1 opinion, but it's an opinion I've heard enough now where it's like, well, it's really just no wonder. Unfortunately, it is no wonder why the developers seemingly just gimped the rest of our class customization. They probably already knew just how annoyed players would be having to build their weapons from the ground up like this. They knew it was going to appeal to a certain type of player like me, but to make up for it, making the rest of your class happens in like a minute. I can spend 7 minutes customizing this M4. I'll spend probably no longer than a minute picking the rest of my loadout. So I know this is sort of a long video for how simplistic it is and just kind of me bouncing around the menus, ranting. I still have a cold. I don't really have time to be creative and interesting at the moment because I'm spending most of my days sleeping. Right now I'm on a couple decongestants, and I am finally properly hydrated, and I have stuff sprayed up in my nose, and it's terrible. I hate everything and I want to die, but I got this video out tonight, so we're continuing my upload streak even though I am pushing the limit every day. But don't worry, this cold is going to go away soon, and then I won't be pushing the limits anymore. If you enjoyed this video for whatever reason, hit a like, leave a comment down below, and yeah, that's the end of this little tangent.